yet, correct?
Is
She is?
Eileen is here.
Oh, okay, okay. Good evening, everybody. I'd like to welcome you to the Bridgewater Conservation Commission meeting. It is August 22nd. We have a quorum, so we'll open the meeting. It is now 5:30 p.m. For the record, the members and staff present: Harry Bailey, Marilyn McDonald, Eileen Prisco, Mark Peterson, Bob Rulli, the Director of Community and Economic Development, and myself, Wendy Smith. I'll now read the governor's order for online meetings into the record. Disclosure pursuant to Section 20 of Chapter 20 of the Acts of 2021, an act relative to extending certain COVID-19 measures adopted during the state of emergency. This meeting of the Conservation Commission for the town of Bridgewater will be hybrid and accessible to the public through remote participation to the greatest extent possible. There will be no public attendance permitted. Citizens who wish to tune into the meeting may do so via Zoom. The link or the dial-in phone number is always located on bridgewaterma.org. The way that we'll proceed, we call to order. Public hearings, we have old business, notice of intent for 0 Lakeshore Center, notice of intent 815 Bedford Street, notice of intent 0 and 350 Cross Street, notice of intent for 72 Eagle Trace. We have new business, a notice of intent for 283 Vernon Street, notice of intent for 25 Butternut Way. Sorry, Conservation Commission business, administrative items, minutes, and adjournment. So we'll call the meeting to order. And first up for public hearings under old business is the notice of intent for 0 Lakeshore Center, map 83, lot 85. The applicant representative is Claremont Lakeshore Bridgewater LLC, Silva Engineering Associates. The DEP file number is SC 116-1525. The applicant has requested a continuance. They received the third-party peer review and they have not had time to respond, so they're in the process of doing that. But Marilyn, do you want to read the?
Yeah, I can read that for you, Wendy. I have the letter right in front of me. Dear Chairperson and Commission members, on July 23rd, 2024, I received a copy of the report by LEC Peer Review, report number 1, addendum for the above project. In the report, Mr. Mark M. Mangelio included certain updated recommendations for the Commission's consideration. My client intends to respond to the latest peer review and report. However, due to the scheduling conflicts, it will not be able to schedule to do so on or before August 22nd of 2024. For that reason, I am requesting that the hearing scheduled for August 22nd, 2024 to be continued to September 12th, 2024. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact me, Cecilia Edmund J. Burham. Wendy, I think we should note that our next meeting is not until the 26th of September, where we posted no quorum for the September 12th meeting. So that would be, again, anybody in attendance would be for September 26th. There is no meeting September 12th. Thanks, Wendy.
Okay, thanks, Marilyn. So do I have a motion to continue 0 Lakeshore Center?
Motion to continue 0 Lakeshore Center.
Thank you. And a second?
Second.
Thank you. And a roll call vote. Harry Bailey?
Aye.
Mark Peterson?
I cannot vote on this.
Oh, Marilyn McDonald?
Aye.
Eileen Prisco? Eileen?
Eileen's muted.
Well, myself, Wendy Smith, aye. We have a quorum with the
It's a
three.
quorum.
So that is for, and should have stated again, that is for September 26th, not September 12th. There is no meeting September 12th. Okay. Thank you. So next up, we have a notice of intent for 815 Bedford Street, map 88, lot 23. The applicant representative is Silva Engineering, PC. The DEP file number is SC 116-1540. So is someone on for Bedford Street? And Marilyn, were you able to find?
Yeah, I was able to pull it, so I can read the notice for you, and there are butter cards attached. So I will read this in. Just bear with me. I should have 2 glasses, but I don't. All right. legal notice, public hearing for Conservation Commission in accordance with the Massachusetts General Laws, Chapter 131, Section 40, in the town of Bridgewater, local bylaw, the Bridgewater Conservation Commission will hold a public hearing Thursday, March 28th, 2024 at 5:30 p.m. for review of notice of intent. The public hearing will be held virtual meeting over Zoom via a link, and it's the instructions on the link on the instructions to the participation in the meeting will follow out and posted in the calendar of the town's website, www.bridgewater.org. The proposed work is construction of a parking lot and a drainage with associated with associated grading within a buffer zone to a previously approved wetland line. The property is identified as Assessors Map 88, Lot 23, 815 Bedford Street. All interested persons are intended to come. They are now legally open, and bandstands yours, Wendy.
All right, thank you. So is someone from Silva Engineering on? Who's on tonight?
Becca,
Someone is on.
I hear your voice.
Someone is on, someone is on. I shall be someone. If I can take the screen,
Yes, are you like at the beach?
oh, I wish. That's my wishful thinking, you know? I'm stuck at the office.
I'd like to be there. That would be
Yeah,
nice.
it's a beautiful beach, isn't it? What am I sharing? Okay, my screen. Okay, it's been a while. So we are at the corner of Romney and Bedford Street at the old LeMay's location, okay?
Yep.
We are here because this 100-foot buffer, which is located on map 88, lot 112, has wetlands. These wetlands were illustrated or borrowed, shall I say, from the Concom as-built done for Romney Road. We do not have a recently flagged because, well, it's trespassing, and we were hoping the Concom would want to look at it and say, yep, that's where it is. It's right at the edge of the road. So having said that, we came before you because the original proposal was to do a driveway in the 100-foot buffer and some drainage in the 100-foot buffer and a lot of, I'm scrolling, I'm sorry, and a lot of grading in this 100-foot buffer. We went to planning board, and planning board asked us to make some concessions. So that's off the table. We have now come before you and the planning board with a revised layout. Oh, you know what? I'll show you in color. Hang on. More like this. So with this layout, we are maintaining a 20-foot vegetated buffer along Romney Road. The wall that's there stays, 20 feet of the hill stays, 20 feet of the vegetation stays, and we've now only have drainage work and grading within the 100-foot, and actually more like the 50-foot, outside the 50-foot. This happen? Okay, so back to the site plan, back to the grading in hand. Why am I doing this? Because technically we could have just resubmitted with an RDA, but we're not gonna. We're gonna continue with the notice of intent approach. We have submitted plans, drainage, evaluated by Greg Tanzi, not once, but I now have his second review. His second review, addressing some of the comments. We need to do test pits for drainage to satisfy some of the groundwater concerns. That is actually scheduled for next Thursday. I'm here showing you what you got so I can hear your input. What is now just drainage in the 100, outside the 50, inside the 100, or adjacent to Romney Road.
And that's up. There's a wall that runs along Romney Road, correct?
The wall stays, the existing block wall will still remain. And then about, let's see, the wall is about top of wall 70 to about 76. So 6 feet of elevation will remain. Yeah,
Okay.
you're gonna go up the hill and then we start tapering down to make the drainage basin.
Okay.
What was once a 4-building layout back here is now a 1 3-story building, climate controlled storage. We had a driveway entrance off of Romney Road. We've eliminated that. We had water line looping off of Romney Road. We've eliminated that. Everything now is Bedford Street.
Okay.
The only concession I would like to ask is that we use the record wetland that we had because nothing has really changed much. The road is the edge of the wetlands. That's not gonna creep any further with that road.
Yep. I don't really have any questions about that. Do any other board members? I mean, that has been there for years now and I don't really have any concerns, I don't think.
So she kind of addressed them that I had, and nice redo over with the plans. So, it's an active line, correct? That's what you said, I heard you say?
It's an inactive line. It's a
Oh, it's inactive, okay.
Concom as-built record plan, because that wetland line isn't gonna move anywhere. That Romney Road is the boundary of the wetlands. It's right up against the edge. There's paved swales dumping into it. It's right there.
No, I'm familiar with the area. I
Right.
just didn't, I thought you said approved,
No, it's
but no
inactive.
biggie, no
It's-
biggie.
So this
Um,
would make it active, if you get me.
So the next question I have, which you answered, Greg's done the engineering review. This has gone through planning, so you're awaiting the second set of engineering review on him?
We're at the cusp of planning board, I believe. So this is why I thought it was a prudent moment to show it to you, talk to you about it. Not necessarily asking for a vote tonight because there are gonna be some plan changes. But I would like a level of comfort that y'all like where it went, you know?
It looks good.
Yeah, no, I have a good level of comfort with it. I like where it went. Just need to review the engineering things, and then go from there. I mean, I take a quick eyeball at it driving by, but I like what you did.
Anyone else? Mark, Harry?
I was present when the wall was put in on Romney Road, along with some other conservation members. So I like this new plan a whole lot better.
Oh, and I will be submitting it. I know you don't have it yet, so this is again why you're seeing it for the first time. We're gonna do the proper channels of submit everything to you again as a revision. We just took a little while to get through planning board and
Gotcha.
satisfy their requirements. And then next plan set, they should be satisfied, I'm assuming,
Mhm.
fingers crossed.
Eileen, are you able to talk? Do you have any questions? Maybe she's just listening tonight. I just have a quick question. It has nothing really to do with this. So in the previous plans, there was the one building and then the 3 or 4
Yes,
separate units. Is the only parking they have for this, like, just what's on the end there? Like
So
on the
this
top
is-
of the screen?
this is a storage facility, so they're gonna have all the drive-up doors that you would normally see.
Oh, okay. Yep.
And then this is the loading area in the middle here, so you would have active loading over here away from everything.
Yep.
But, you know, storage, they kind of pull up in front of their door, open it up.
Right,
open it
right,
up,
right.
And off they go again, so
Yep.
the real parking for the office rentals is kind of like up in the north
Gonna be
side.
up there. Yep.
If there's a couple extras needed, it's there, but for the most part, they're just gonna, you know, park on the side and do their thing. It's very passive parking.
Yep. Okay, just curious.
Madam
Okay.
Chair, I don't know if you asked Member Peterson if he had any questions.
Asked Harry, Mark, kind of at the same time.
Okay,
Mark, do you have any questions or concerns?
Not at the moment.
Okay, thank you.
so Rebecca, are you asking to continue this?
I am making sure the commission is okay, so that maybe on the 26th, when we come back and they've seen the revised plans, that we can get a thumbs up.
But you'd like to continue it
But I
tonight?
would like to continue it to the 26th, please.
Okay, yep. So it seems like it appears to look okay on our end. So do I
Yeah,
have
we'll
a
need,
motion?
we still opened the public hearing though. We do still have to check in with anybody if they're.
Oh, thank you. Are there any abutters that are on that would like to ask a question or has a comment? You can use the raise your hand feature that's on the Zoom at the bottom, or you can raise your hand if Mr. Rulli can see you. He can call you.
Let me see. I am not seeing any hands virtually or in real time.
Okay, thank you. So could I have a motion for a continuance of 815 Bedford Street to September 26th?
I'll make a motion to continue 815 Bedford Street, map 88, lot 23, the continuation of the next meeting, which is September 26th.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
Second,
Thank you. And roll call vote, Marilyn,
Aye.
Harry,
aye.
Mark,
Aye.
Eileen. And myself, Wendy Smith, aye. All right, thank you.
Welcome, thank you.
All right, you're up next too. So next up under old business, we have a notice of intent for 0 and 350 Cross Street, map 118, lot 89, 23, 24, 25. The applicant representative, Robert Vaza, Silva Engineering Associates. DEP file number is SE 116-1550. So this is a notice of intent, not the RDA that was on us before, right? Do we have a public notice? Or am I wrong in that?
You are correct. This is a notice of intent.
Okay, because I did not, in the packet, current did not get,
We have continued a few times. Okay, so let's open with
I
one
think
moment.
within the last meeting's packet, because they asked to continue this.
Right. I can do share again if you'd like, and then we can,
Yeah, but didn't we open it once already with the, and then decide on the site walk?
did we? Or maybe we
Oh,
did, because
yeah,
then we
you're
did
right.
the
We
site
did
walk.
open it. That's what I remember.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay,
okay. Very
All
good,
right.
very good. Good memory.
it was the next one that, did. Okay, so, Rebecca, you are up again.
Well, so we know the submission, the subdivision. Let me, distracted with the thing, pull it up. Not the one I want. And then we did the site walk and there was questions, discussions, not really a lot, but. okay, so
Notice of intent, not an RDA.
plans, I try to be very careful now not to show anything on my screen that's not appropriate. Okay. Okay. So we walked the site, we walked down, I had staked out the head wall, this 100 foot for the stationing, and then we walked down all the way to the back where you saw the head wall 8 and head wall 5.
Mhm.
There's a, I think we discussed whatever concerns you had at the time. I have a meeting with planning board last night. They continued it because we have a few engineering review comments to go through. Most of them were housekeeping in nature. And felt pretty good. It's just there was a few pages worth of comments to get through. I don't know where the commission stands or feels about this one with regard to approvals or the next one, or
I'm gonna mute myself for 1 second if I can.
Yeah, I think we should treat it like we treated the previous one. If-
I agree. That's why I was just like, are we at
Yeah.
I know we discussed some potential conditions you were looking for. We should probably put them out there now so we can have it on the record of.
Oh, my
I
goodness.
think I'm unmuted.
We hear you.
Oh,
Can you hear
good.
me?
Yes.
Oh, yay.
Yay.
Oh, my God. Thank God. Okay, continue
so-
on.
So we're talking about the, so it
350
was
cross.
Marilyn and Eileen
Cross
came
Street?
out. But they had been on the site before, so they did not take the walk
Correct.
out. Harry, myself, and Mark took the walk out. I don't know what I did with my paper because I thought I took some notes for the order of, like, what might go in the order of conditions. And I don't know what I did with it.
Oh,
Harry-
you want me to?
that we
I
were
have a
gonna
few-
Okay, one at a time.
Go ahead, Marilyn.
I said, well, she was looking, I had a few comments. So again, I guess when you're on as long as me and Harry, sometimes you forget what properties you were on. So I truly remember this property that we did back now, Rebecca. So my only things are, and I agree with Bob, keeping it open until the engineer review comes in, because that was one of the things that we needed to look at. And it looks like, with the DEP comments, it looks like you must have completed your stuff because they gave you a number. So you look like you're good with the DEP comments. Everything's
Yes,
filed there.
Yes.
And then, yeah, the only other thing I would suggest in the in the order would be the deed restrictions as stated, but looks like you're on the right path. I have no other concerns.
Yep, the deed restrictions were discussed with planning board last night as well on how they were gonna work. It would be restricted to the homeowners as a passive recreation type of scenario that they cannot build on it. And I believe DEP made a comment about closing out of the other one, and I thought we submitted a closeout, and I don't know what happened to that, but I'll follow up with that.
Okay.
And obviously DEP wanted us to move the driveway outside of the 100 for the riparian, and we did that, so DEP is very much satisfied with most of it.
So are you deed restricting the backland
Parcel
to,
A, yes,
with ownership to the people in the 4 lots?
with the people of the homeowners association, yes. But it will
Okay,
stipulate,
so it's not gonna be anybody.
that's, I guess,
So
still
it's
up in
gonna
the,
be land,
I think it's still up in the air on how to word it.
land? Is it gonna be land in common?
I don't know the legalities of the language.
It's gonna be owned by the HOA, homeowners association, which will be responsible for the
It has to be
maintenance of it.
Which means there's gonna have to be a monthly fees for the maintenance.
Correct.
Well, again, that's a condition
Okay.
that either you or, well, I guess the
Right.
planning board would put in terms of the maintenance of it moving forward.
Okay.
But it's land that's not to be, it's not used for anything, right?
No, but I mean, you know, we've had other open space and drainage issues with HOAs. It's, the town isn't in a position to maintain them, so it's the responsibility of the homeowners association if there's any maintenance required or, you know, if it needs to be cut back at any point.
Oh, okay.
And it will be restricted in the language for no development, so that's where that comes in.
Rebecca, you don't happen to remember anything that I had mentioned to you?
You mentioned the idea of markers for the homeowners not to do anything in the wetlands. You had
Yeah,
mentioned-
so that's what I was thinking, like for the, especially lot 4. I mean, well, I guess all of them, right? Like we have to have those markers that go in along the wetland, just so they know the end points to not go any further. That would be my only thing, I think.
I think you were talking about PVC markers, maybe?
Yeah, yeah.
But they're gonna come back in with each notice of intent is what you guys said that day too, correct?
Yeah,
Yeah.
oh yeah, that's right.
Right.
So that's something you can always condition with each of the notices.
Each of them, yep,
Each of the lots individually, yep.
okay.
I have a few questions.
Yep.
Is this the time where we talk about the site walk?
Sure.
Okay, so when I was on the sidewalk, I noticed that like a lot of the vegetation and the understory had been kind of grazed away. And I thought at first it was deer browse, but then I started thinking, you know, it was really completely great. Everything was eaten there, invasive plants, everything was eaten. And I started thinking that's goats. There was goats that were grazing under there, that whole entire area. And I'm just wondering if by there not being those understory plants that affected some of the determinations of the wetland borders or wetland features such as maybe seeps or maybe vernal pools. I'm just wondering if the goats maybe trampled on things out there and ate certain vegetation that would indicate that there was something to look for. So that was my concern. I still think we should have a third party review to take a peek at that and also ensure that if there is goats going through there, that they are not allowed to go through there for a certain period of time until this new review comes through. That's my concern. I've seen holly bushes eaten to the ground. Deer doesn't do that. There's no spice bush. There would be some out there, and there was no invasive plants. Not that I want to see invasive plants, but there really weren't any. And there was
Well,
some.
I'm sorry, I'm just thinking like, we don't, did the homeowners to the left when we were walking out, did they have goats
Yeah, yeah, they do have goats.
in the pen? Okay, so they're not wild goats, so they're the homeowners that live in that. They're not gonna be able to let goats out of their pen. So if they let them out, which I don't know why anybody, because they're not like calling back and they come, I don't know, but,
Well, I
I don't-
noticed, because we noticed all those piles of turds, those poop piles out there when
Yeah,
we were walking around. That, I mean, it could be deer poop, but it
yeah,
looked
could
like
be goat.
goat poop.
May
That
I?
whole area, the whole area. And there was a couple patches where I was walking through with, there was sedge popping up. I remember telling, pointing that out to you, Wendy, and saying, hey, look at this sedge over here. And it just seemed random, completely out of nowhere. And a
Right.
couple patches of those. So I'm just worried that the previous wetland reviews, and maybe even when Stephen Sobel went through there 3 years ago during the winter, if he, maybe it wasn't, there was nothing to see. I mean, nothing indicated certain things because it was all eaten away. So that's my concern.
I don't know. I did the line myself, Harry and Eileen, and we were very comfortable with the line out there. In fact, I put Rebecca through a little
Yep.
trouble making sure we did some calculations on some areas that I was concerned with. I mean,
Yeah.
you're not going to stop wildlife certainly from going out in any way. You're not going to stop kids from going out in certain wetlands too. But the line's set, so that line is active. We're not going to change the line. The time for a third party review is when you're actively doing a line. So that's my take.
Thank you.
And I think the woods part of it, that's where we saw those piles and whatnot. That's not in the wetland, like
No.
we didn't walk out into the wetland. We saw the wetland line, but we didn't walk out into that. We walked into the center part of this plan that's on here right now. That's where we saw what we saw, which is outside of the wetland. So I think, I don't know, but good thoughts.
Vernal pools are not necessarily in.
Well, but vernal pools would be marked on here, and
That's my point. My point is that they might have been missed because the vegetation was eaten away.
They
yeah,
were not missed. I actually made them do calculations and everything. I'm very comfortable with that line. Harry and Eileen, you can speak on that line
Yep.
also, but I'm very
Yep.
comfortable
No,
with that line.
Now, we walked thoroughly and we looked for vernal pools, and there was no snow on the ground, and it wasn't winter. It was cold, but it was not unviewable land.
Yeah.
I
And
guarantee
it's
you
because
that
of the
much.
nature of the wetlands. Yeah.
all right. Well, thanks for the thoughts, Mark.
Well, I was gonna say, I think even further, because this property goes way, way back, and I think just to give Mark
Way back.
a comfort level, Ken did flag it, and he did find interesting things, but they were outside of where we even are
Where
close
we're
to
looking.
finding anything. So he looked all the way back here and didn't find anything noteworthy for us to put on the plan at the time. Now, you want to go deep into the woods? Yeah, you probably will find something interesting, but we don't need to go that far.
But that's not gonna be used, hopefully.
It's not gonna be
It's not
used,
gonna be
correct.
built on.
That's
Right.
not where I saw it though. We didn't walk that far. I was seeing these things on like lot 1 and lot 2.
Oh, I'm not saying that you didn't. What I'm saying is we were able to view and did not find any findings of any concerns about a vernal pool.
Okay, let's move on. Is there any abutters that are on that have any concerns or questions that they would like to bring up? If you do, use the raise your hand feature on Zoom or raise your hand so Mr. Rulli can see you.
Going once, going twice. I am not seeing any, Madam Chair.
Thank you. So can we get a motion to continue 0 and 350 Cross Street, map 118, lot 89, 23, 24, 25 until September 26th?
Madam
would
Chair,
make a
somebody just entered something in the chat, so let me see if that
Oh, okay.
is related to this. It's from Michael saying hello. I don't know if that's just being super kind and friendly or that he wants to comment.
Maybe he's just checking to see if it's going through.
Let me see if I can find Michael. Michael, you're unmuted. Did you have a comment? He's connecting to audio. Looks like he's trying to connect to audio, so we could just be patient for a moment.
Okay.
And Michael, if you're not able to connect, you can put your question in the chat and I can relay it to the members. Well, you're only continuing anyway, so if he comes back and has a comment, I mean, we'll certainly listen to it, but you're not taking a vote tonight.
Okay.
So I'll make
Right.
a motion then for 0 and 350 Cross Street, map 118, lot 89, 23, 24, 25, for a continuation to the September 26th meeting.
Second,
Thank you. And a roll call vote, Eileen,
Aye. Finally.
Marilyn,
Aye.
Harry,
aye.
Mark,
Aye.
and myself, Wendy, aye.
So Michael's question is, and to you, Rebecca, through the chair, are these 4 homes going to be single family?
Media talking away here. Yes, single family homes, four single family homes.
Thank you.
We're not
Thank you.
zoned for anything else.
Got it. All right, hopefully, Michael, that answers your question. Next up, we have a notice of intent for 72 Eagle Trace, map 77, lot 102. Applicant representative is Nicholas Ring, Collins Engineering, and the DEP file number is SE 116-1551. Is the applicant a representative on?
David is here.
Yes. Yep.
David, right? Okay,
Good evening.
hi.
All right, so we're here
David,
tonight.
can you just state you and?
Yeah, Dave Clinic from Collins Civil Engineering Group at 225 South Main Street, West Bridgewater, representing 72 Eagle Terrace, Bridgewater, Massachusetts, for a irrigation well and lawn replacement.
David, I don't remember, and maybe you can help us because some of us are having senior moments. Did we read the legal advertisement for this the last time you were
I
here?
believe that we, you know
We
what?
held off on it all because we were short
Yeah,
people. and
we were
gonna
short.
You
wait.
did. I watched the tape the other night. You did read it in.
You did read it.
We did?
Yep, you found it.
Oh,
So we opened the hearing and
You
continued.
did open the hearing and then you gave them the choice to continue it when the full quorum was here.
I remember pulling
Okay.
the hearing up on my screen and you had to read it off my screen. I remember doing
Thank you.
Yeah.
I just want to make
Right.
sure we didn't miss that.
yep,
Thank you.
senior moments all over the place.
that.
Sorry. Okay, so we're all set. So
All right,
project is, what did you say again, please? Sorry.
this is for a irrigation well and lawn replacement at 72 Eagle Terrace or Trace. There was a comment from the Mass DEP about a WC wetland change. And it refers to the Mass Mapper under physical resources and hydrology water features, which I looked up. I don't know if I can share the screen and show you those. This was from
You
back when
can if you'd like.
it was 2001 to 2003. That's where they're referring to these changes. We had this septic repair in 2019 flagged, and we've reflagged it, the same botanist, for this filing, and the wetlands have not changed. They're identical. What happened in 2003 to 2001, I'm not sure. Maybe the subdivision was just going in at that point. But those were when the changes were made. And I'll share the screen here so I can bring up some stuff here.
Thank you.
Okay, let me see. Share the screen. Share. Okay. The first thing I want to bring up is the plan. Can everybody see the plan?
No, I see your.
We're seeing your desktop.
your
Okay, hold
desktop
on.
screen. There you go.
There it is.
Okay. So this is the plan. This is the wetland line delineated by Brook Monroe. Now this same delineation happened in 2019 for the septic repair. It didn't fall under the jurisdiction of the conservation because we had the septic completely outside the 100-foot buffer shown in purple. But we do have the records of the wetland location. We reflagged it for this application, and we compared it. It's almost identical, you know, plus or minus a foot or two here and there. The exact same line that she flagged. Now, the shed here existed in 2019. The only new thing that's on this plan that didn't exist in 2019 was this little play area, the mulch play area. I don't know when that was added, but that was something that was not there when we did the septic repair. I'm going to try to show you, it's online, so I'm not sure it's going to come up for you. Just let me know if you see this.
Yep.
Mhm.
Okay, so it says here, these changes were made in 2001 to 2003. This change, this change, this change, and this change. All these changes were in 2001 to 2003. And there is a little section here on our site that apparently was changed, but that was so long ago that I have no idea how or when or for what reason it was changed, or whether or not it was had a conservation approval. That was over 20 years ago. But that's what the DEP is commenting on. And so I will leave it up to the board. This happened so long ago, these changes, that I don't think there's probably any record, if so, at the town hall. But if I get rid of these changes, say I get rid of those, and I take a distance out to the wetland, it's the exact same distance that we have flagged. So, and I did distances from the backyard, from the side yard. They're plus or minus 5 feet to what we have flagged on our plan. So I just want to make the board aware of that the actual mass map or wetland line is very close to what we have flagged on our site.
So
this
they're
is
saying that the yellow that you had up
this
is
yellow
what
right
it
here.
was in 2001 to 2003.
Yep,
But now, since in 2019, you had it flagged for this development or whatever,
for the septic repair. Yep,
and that's the new lines that you have in currently.
it's the same line that we
So
have.
like, it's like it receded.
It's the same line. It's the same line that we have currently. So we don't have this 2003 line. We have what's shown right now. Realistically, what was shown on Mass Mapper right now is what we have and what we had in 2019.
Mhm. Okay,
So where this came from,
yeah,
how this was all dealt with back in 2000 and 2003, I am unaware.
okay.
But I
Alright.
just wanted to make sure that the board understood that what the DEP was referring to was something that happened more than 2 decades ago. So, and I just looked that up today, so I just wanted to inform you about
Okay.
that. So what we're proposing is a irrigation well at the end of the driveway. And we have the wetland line delineated by Brook Monroe, both in 2019 and 2024. This is shown in green. The orange or reddish line will be the siltation fence that we're going to propose around the limit of work. The gold is the 50 and the purple is the 100-foot buffer. The idea is to come in here. I've been told that it's going to take a couple of days or less to get the lawn changed. I don't know how long it'll take to get the irrigation well in. I normally like a half a day. All the area will be cleaned up from the irrigation well. We have notes here that say all the disturbed areas from the irrigation well be cleaned and removed. The street to be swept every day, and the sill fence to be maintained. There is one note here I'd like to point out to the board members that the property is the site. It says here the site is located in an area of critical environmental concern. the site is not located. It's supposed to be not located, and I looked that up on Mass Mapper as well today. So I wanted to make sure that if anybody read that, they know that the site is not located in an area of critical environmental concern. It's not located in a habitat or rare species area. So it is just a wetland.
Well, that's a
buffer
big
strip.
error on that.
Yeah, I'm gonna change
Okay.
that on the plan. Yep.
Yep.
And it's correct in the notice of intent, description. It is not located in an area of environmental concern.
Okay.
So, this is it. We're just gonna have the well here. All the work can be accessed through, the north side here, away from the catch basins. And, it's, I've been told that the lawn replacement itself is a 1 or 2 day, endeavor. So it will happen very quick.
Okay. Questions? Thank you for that.
I do have several.
Mhm.
But thank you, David. That was one of my first ones with the DEP comments highlighted. So thank you for clarifying that. And that makes sense. 2001, 2003. Brooke did the line in 2019. So to me, it trumps the 2001, 2003. We approved that line in 2019. So that answers my question there. Just a couple of things on the plan, and then on your narrative, I have a little kind of major concern I want to address with you. So I don't see the 20-foot line. It looks like this is already in a disturbed 25-foot no touch, correct?
Yeah, we don't show the 25-foot no touch, zone on this plan.
Okay.
This is all pre-existing,
It's
pre-existing
pre-existing
lawn.
disturbed.
Yeah, disturbed.
Yeah, and I was using a scale to think. So then I get to your narrative, and the one thing that I'm concerned about is the sediment control system consisting of street sweepings. Street sweepings are a DEP regulated, like, contained, like, waste. We test like that. I don't know why we would be using street sweepings. I definitely that's a no.
The street sweeping?
Yeah. Street sweepings are regulated by DEP. They actually have to go to special facilities. So unless you're talking about a different type of street sweepings, but
This
they
would
are
be,
highly
this
regulated.
is a hand type of street sweeping, just making sure that nothing is at the access points.
But I want to understand if it's street sweepings that they go and pick up on the streets. Like, are you talking about the street sweepings that we?
No, the contractor is only gonna sweep what's in front of the access point.
Oh, thank God. Okay, all right.
We're not gonna,
Not a
we're
big
not gonna,
street
we're
I
not
thought you
gonna
were
sweep the
filling it
street.
with street sweepings. I was like, that's not.
No.
Not the machine.
You'll-
No.
you'll-
Just from
Okay.
the access points.
All
Yeah.
right, that's what I wanted to clear, because I'm like, nobody would put street sweepings in an irrigation system.
No. But there will be cars coming in, maybe with some loom or some hydro seed, or however they're gonna do it, and we want to make sure that those entrance points are swept every day.
That was my question on the street sweeping. So thank you.
And my only thought is like, it's a pre-existing lawn. It is what it is, and they're gonna just redo it with the irrigation system. And this really isn't even your thing, David, but I don't know if anybody else has an issue with the existing mulch play area and the shed. Like, if that wasn't there in 2019, that means that it was put in after that, and that is definitely inside the 25-foot buffer.
It's on the pre-existing disturbed area. In fact, the 2019 shows all lawn next to that shed, just like it's shown
Yeah,
here.
lawn is lawn
yeah.
and mulch is mulch, and there's a shed built, and nothing is supposed to be within the 25-foot. Like I'm saying, this isn't you really right now for this plan. I mean, my thought would be that it's the homeowners, and I would like to get other board members' thoughts. Maybe I'm talking out of, I don't know what I'm talking about, but.
I know what you're talking about, and we'll have Harry weigh in big on this. I mean, that was my first thing I got the rule about. I look at it. I mean, but here's the thing, and Harry, you can weigh in too. It's a lawn. It's definitely previously disturbed. We're not protecting like anything that kids are on right now. Like, to me, it's been there for years now. Like, the 25-foot has already been invaded. Like, so, I'll take everybody else's comments on it, but that was why I, did what I did on the plans and measured it, they're clearly, you know, the whole lawn's in the 25 foot at this, like where they're gonna be doing that.
Yeah, which is, I don't understand that either, but
You know, I mean, well, they're in the I mean, no, the lawn is in the 50, but this area here, I mean, it's already disturbed. Whether you guys want to, you know, take a play area out, but I'll leave that up for discussion. But I mean, I think the wetland line, I mean, if you guys want to look at it, I'll go look at it. But you know, I Brooke's very good botanist. I mean, if we did the line in 19, I don't think it changed that much if they're going wetland to wetland flag here. But you know, I'll see what everybody else kind of weighs in on. Harry, what's your thought with that one?
Not too concerned about the wood chips and stuff, but the shed, it all depends on, you're gonna have lawnmowers and stuff in there. The shed probably should not be there.
yeah, I think we're gonna have to maybe think about. And again, David, this isn't you as far as
Sure.
the well and the lawn goes. This is something that I think administratively or something that might present an issue. Eileen, do you have any thoughts? Did we lose her?
She did send me an email, sent all us an email. I think she's having technical difficulties.
Okay. Mark, do you have any thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, it was a good point about the shed and the oils and the lawnmowers and the equipment in there. So that's something we should probably take a look at. I was thinking too is you know, you're gonna install a lawn there. It seems like there's a lot of. It seems like a lawn would succeed anyways over there as it is now. It seems. I'm worried that if it's going to fail again, they're going to start throwing a lot of fertilizer and a lot of pesticides onto it. So I'm just wondering if we can add certain things to the conditions
Yep.
that state that. But I mean, if they're going to throw just Moroccan grass on the lawn, just as it is, you know, like other people's lawns, it's probably not going to succeed over there.
Well, they're also putting in an irrigation well, and that will help the lawn succeed. So that's kind of what they're putting in. And when you look at past the 50 foot buffer, so I think kind of the question is, you know, what do we say anything about the mulch area that's there, or? But you know, good point. I mean, fertilization is not good to be using on anything. It's just bad for everybody. But I hear what you're saying, Mark. But the irrigation well will definitely help the lawn to seed.
I don't think it will, but that to my point though, the fertilizer and the pesticides, we should definitely have some language about those.
Yep, I agree. Okay, let's see. Is there anybody that is in a butter that has any questions or concerns regarding this project?
David, if you could just stop sharing your screen, please, so I can
Sure.
see.
Yep.
Thank you. All right. Madam Chair, I am not seeing any and not seeing anything in the chat either.
Okay. Thank you. So I guess, as far as Mr. Collins' project, we're looking to make a motion to approve the notice of intent for 72 Eagle Trace with special conditions, or in the order of conditions, that they use as close to natural fertilizer as possible if they're using anything, because of the wetland proximity. And I'm not quite sure what we do about the shed, or,
Maybe we should then just go take a quick look at the property. I mean, because most of it's disturbed. I mean, they've got a pre-existing lawn that's clearly in some of the 25 foot. So, you know, maybe we just take a quick eyeball on it, and then condition it.
And I would add that shed was there prior to 2019, so that was there well before we did the septic repair. I'm not sure if it was the same owners or if it was sold again for that septic repair. But that shed had been there for quite some time.
So
Okay.
Marilyn, are you suggesting that we continue this? And so
Well, I mean, I'm really all right with it. I just want to make sure the other members are comfortable with it. I mean, the shed's been there. You know, it's pre-existing.
I'd like to take a look.
If the shed's been there since 2019, it's just about ready to come down in my eyes.
So you could condition it that when the shed is removed, that there cannot be another shed in that location.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah,
I like
that's,
that.
That's fine.
yep.
Not to replace or re-roof or anything.
And then maybe where her markers are, because, like say that from 2019, maybe they could put up some little PVC so they know where not to put a new shed when they're gonna,
Yeah,
when they're gonna put one up, so that we can certainly condition
so
that.
we should, okay, markers too.
Like
Yeah,
little, yeah, but nothing that's gonna be hazardous if there's any kids out there, but just some type of marker so they clearly know where that line is going forward.
Could that cause an unintended consequence of them keeping a shed that's dilapidated for way too long, and then it's, I don't know, sheds don't leak oil themselves, but
I think that the consensus is you can't make them remove the existing shed, and we just hope that they decide that rather than have a dilapidated shed, they just remove it. But I won't speak for the other members or any members, actually.
Yeah, that's my take too. It's been there. They weren't filing to put an irrigation system in, it would be there for another time. Like, it is what it is.
Right, right. Okay. So we have natural fertilizer as much as possible, not to replace the shed, but to remove it if it starts to be old and collapsing. And markers at the wetland lines so that they would be able to tell the 25 feet from that.
For any future use. Did you open this for any public comment?
We did.
I did.
Okay, I couldn't.
Yep.
They're
So
in
we-
my mind now, Bob.
I think the other condition, Madam Chair, was a delineation of the existing shed. So in the future, somebody doesn't do anything in addition to the other delineation.
A delineation of the shed.
The area where the shed is now, that you don't want anything going back in there.
Oh, okay. Well, I said not to replace the shed, but to remove it if it starts to,
Right, but I think you just want to mark that area.
okay.
So if we've already talked to everybody, would
Yeah.
Chair entertain a motion to close it then?
Yes, yep,
All right, I would make a motion to close notice of intent, 72 Eagle Trace, map 77, lot 102.
Second,
thank you. And we need a motion to approve.
Did you say
Yeah.
something?
What? I said, okay, so it's, oh, do I have to do a roll call vote?
Yep.
Wait, sorry. Roll call vote. Marilyn,
Aye.
Mark,
I
Harry,
aye.
Eileen, are you able?
I don't think she is.
Okay, and
Back.
myself, Wendy, aye. Now we can do the motion to approve 72 Eagle Trace. Anyone?
Sorry,
wanna-
motion to approve, notice of intent, 72 Eagle Trace, map 77, lot 102, with all the conditions that were just stated. Bob, does she need to run through them again, or are we good?
Yeah, I mean, we'll pick them up in the minutes and then
Yeah.
we'll get these to you before they're signed off on.
Yep, I think we hit them all in your discussion. Thanks.
Second,
Thank you for the second and roll call vote. Marilyn,
Aye.
Harry,
aye.
Mark,
I
and myself, Wendy, aye. All right, thank you. Thank you, Mr.
Okay.
Collins.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, next up, under new business, and, David, are you back on again?
Yes.
Oh, okay. We have a notice of intent for 283 Vernon Street, map 85, lot 21. Applicant representative is Paul Laporte. Collins Engineering, the DEP file number is SE 116-1553. Okay. And as far as I got nothing. I need a new way to be able to put in the public hearing notice. I can't, don't seem to
I
be
may
able
be able to bring it up on my screen.
to find them. Okay,
Oh, let me see if I can bring it up on my screen here.
And abutters were notified also?
Yes,
I
that will
would
be on the screen
imagine?
too. Yep.
Okay,
Let me see, Bridgewater projects, Bridgewater. Let's see. This is 283 Vernon. 283 Vernon, and we have the cards and legal ad.
awesome.
So here's the
Thank you.
legal ad, and we have the
Yep.
cards underneath.
Can you just scroll down a little bit? Because that continues, it looks like.
Yeah,
Yep,
right, I can
Okay.
zoom it up to.
Yep, I'm good.
There you go.
Okay, so 283 Vernon Street, Bridgewater, legal notice, notice of public hearing, Conservation Commission, Bridgewater, Massachusetts. In accordance with the Massachusetts General Laws, Chapter 131, Section 40, and the Town of Bridgewater Local Wetland Bylaw, the Bridgewater Conservation Commission will hold a public hearing on August 22nd, 2024 for a notice of intent filed by Paul Laporte. The applicant proposes to upgrade a residential septic system. The property is owned by Paul Laporte and is located at 283 Vernon Street, Bridgewater, Mass, map 85, parcel 21. Please contact the Bridgewater Conservation Office at 508-697-0950 for the time and location, or link to virtual participation. All interested parties are encouraged to attend. Agenda can be found at www.bridgewaterma.org at least 48 hours prior to the meeting date. Thank you.
All right. And the green cards are underneath that. I don't know
Yep.
if you need to see them, but.
No, that's fine.
Okay, so let me bring up the plan here. All right, so this is for a septic repair. The septic is in failure. This is Vernon Street, and there's an old street here. It's not built, but it was built. It was proposed back in the 60s. And what we have is we have the wetland line in green here, delineated by Brook Monroe. We have the 20. This is the 20. Is this the
The
25
black
foot
line.
25 foot buffer, the black one. And then we have the 50-foot buffer and the 100-foot buffer, and then the rest of the property. And I'll just go through some of the reasons why we put the system, why we had to put the system where we put it. We tried moving it up here into the northern section of the property, and it's ledge. Big reason for the system failing was the ledge. It's the only place we found suitable material is down in here. We tried looking over here. The problem is there is an existing drainage easement with a pipe in it, and it drains some of Vernon Street, as well as the gas and the water, and it would not even fit in this corner with this drainage easement to contend with. So what we had to do is put it where the material was, and unfortunately that's 11 feet from the wetlands. Now the DEP did comment on that being the system being built inside the 50. And the Board of Health has the discretion to allow the septic system close to a wetland as long as we don't ask for a variance on depth to water table, which we did not. The Board of Health has approved this, understanding that this is pretty much the only place that the septic system can go. What we're proposing is to put a siltation erosion control fence along the limit of work, but everywhere inside the 25-foot buffer, we're going to double that up with hay bales right around the corner. This will be a slightly mounted system in the back, maybe 1.5 to 2 feet. And in the front, it's going to be flat and level. The grade goes from uphill all the way down towards the wetlands, of course. There's notes here that just say basically the same thing. We're gonna keep the erosion control in place until everything is stabilized. There will be all the entrances will be through the paved driveway. This is going to be a very tight area to work in, so the stockpiling will be outside the 50 if we need it. But I think mostly it's going to be, bring it in and bring it out. That type of operation. We are proposing a new 1,500 gallon tank. Everything has been approved by the Board of Health last week. So I guess that's about it. I can answer any questions. The system will be 11 feet from the wetlands, and the siltation fence will be as close as 3 feet.
Okay, thank you, David. There's no way that you could have turned that perpendicular to the way that it is right now?
No, we were talking about turning it on the side. I mean, we have to have both of the pits inside our septic design. And if we turn it perpendicular, we'd only have one pit inside. And this is also determined by being working inside the 50. We're held to a higher standard through the Board of Health to work in that 50. So both of those pits need to be inside the septic system design area. And these are the pits that we're working off of.
Okay. All right, board members?
Yeah, I mean, well, we can take off the street sweeping question concern I have, Dave, right? 'Cause now we know
Yes.
what street sweeping
Yeah,
is.
just in front of the driveway.
Got that one highlighted. Yeah, I felt for you on this plan that like you just didn't have anywhere else to go. It's failed, so you know, I got nothing. I mean, it's failed. I mean, I can see you tried, you know, moving it around, and it's just not. It has to be suitable. I'm glad to hear that the Board of Health was out there and that they've approved it. But you know, I know it's in the 25, but I don't know where else you're going to go. You can't have crap going everywhere in the wetlands too. So I got no other ideas than that. I don't know, Harry, your
Yeah.
thoughts on that?
Stuck in a rock and a hard place.
No, it's a failed system, and I trust the Board of Health. I know him personally, so if he approved it, it should be all right.
How about if they rip up their driveway and kidding. Mark, do you have any questions or concerns?
No.
Okay. I'm gonna ask, is Eileen on or no?
I don't see a number on it. I think she's still off. She's still off, Bob.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
let me just check real quick. She has left the dance.
Okay.
Should I stop sharing this or?
Yeah, if you
Yeah.
could, David, thank you.
Yeah. Are there any abutters that are on for this 283 Vernon Street that have any questions or concerns about the project as it is right now? You can use the raise your hand in the Zoom, or you can physically raise your hand and try to get Mr. Rulli's attention.
I am not seeing any, Madam Chair.
Okay, thank you. So commission members, do we have enough information that we can close the hearing?
I believe so. I'll make that motion if we can close notice of intent 283 Vernon Street, map 85, lot 21.
Motion to close the hearing.
So you need a second. You're the second, Harry.
Second.
Okay, thank you. And a roll call vote, Marilyn,
Aye.
Harry,
Aye.
Mark,
Aye.
and myself, Wendy, aye. And then we need a motion to accept the notice or approve the notice of intent for 283 Vernon Street, map 85, lot 21.
Motion to approve 283 Vernon Street, map 85, lot 21.
Second.
Thank you. Roll call vote, Marilyn,
Aye.
Harry,
Aye.
Mark,
Aye.
myself, Wendy, aye. All right,
Well,
Mr. Collins,
thank
you're
you.
all set. Yep, you're welcome. Good luck.
Okay, have a good night. Thanks.
You too. Next up, we have under new business a notice of intent for 25 Butternut Way, map 37, lot 68. The applicant representative is Millbrook Homes, D&L Design Group Incorporated. DP file number is SE 116 1554. I don't think, once again, Marilyn, are you able to find the notice of intent for this? I mean, not the notice of intent.
I don't, let me look at the current
Hearing.
packet. And
You know what? I think I might have seen it.
Well, I think the first question is there anyone here for this?
Oh, is there
application?
anyone here for it? We're looking for DNL Design Group. Or someone from
Or
Millbrook. Homes.
Millbrook Homes. I am not seeing anybody.
Okay, then we don't open it.
Okay, so that'll just go to the next meeting.
Yeah, I think you should have a motion if you want to move it. to the
Okay.
next one.
We have a motion to continue notice of intent 25 Butternut Way, map 37, lot 68.
I think I need to reach it because we didn't really open it, so there's nothing to continue. Like
Okay,
technically you have to open something to continue it.
so we'll just let them know they've been moved to the 26th.
Yeah, and why they didn't show. There is, just to let you know, the DEP comments about this list were not provided in the copy of the notice of intent. Just make sure that they have everything sent, and I'll double check, Nicole's packet and see if it was in there.
Okay,
All right, so that will be on for August,
September.
September,
And
yes.
it doesn't appear to be any abutter notices in the packet
Yeah, I'm looking at it now too, and I don't,
and any note, maybe they didn't get it notified in time.
okay.
Anyway.
So we don't need to vote on that?
No,
Okay, because it wasn't opened. And so we have come to the end of our meeting, sort
we
of.
still have
We're
the
conservation.
cease and desist at Lakeshore. We held
Yep.
off on that because Marilyn wanted an opportunity to go out there.
Yep. Okay, so we're at Conservation Commission business, we're Lakeshore cease and desist. Conversation, so I think the idea is that we, I don't know, whatever we're gonna do with it, what are we gonna do with it? Like,
Well, this is just to rescind what you had issued, which prompted you to have a site visit and a discussion out there. So we just can't leave it dangling out there if it's, I'm just looking to have permission to rescind the cease
I mean,
and desist.
yeah, thanks for the extra time. I did look at things, the order of conditions with, again, I think we missed it on the first time, when you look at the pictures from all the previous years of, the first violation, we can't go back and get them on that. Like, so
Right.
they, I think in good faith, they just need to call us. It has to be, somebody on foot, not a lot of machinery. They, moving forward, they need a good faith and to call us and let us know. And one of us will gladly be there. And, making sure they're doing it right, but
can I just wanna comment on that, so in reading the order of conditions that was done, or the special conditions that was done, that is addressed, those signs, they're addressing the public. It's for public, the public is to notify the Conservation Commission if there are any, like, nobody's, that's not addressed to them. They have in their order conditions what they're supposed to do, how they're supposed to do it. They don't need to necessarily call us. What might have been better would have been the first time they were ready to cut, that they had one of us out there that
Well,
knows about the plants.
I mean, we worked on that so hard, and I
Yeah.
mean, I remember this to the T, the conversation of working on it. Maybe it didn't get written, but it was to be very clear. Like we should have been on the property, and like it says in the conditions, live trees should be left in healthy, can be proven, shall be done. Personnel on foot. Well, that didn't happen the first time. They went out on machineries and just clear cut. But
Yeah,
again, that was
heard
the
that.
first offense. So on this one, all I want them to do is maybe a little bit more communication and good faith with us, so that we know what's out there.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And I found the pictures on my old phone of the machine that does the brush cutting on the sides of the road, going up and down the side of a tree. And if you remember correctly, there was a berm, and he went all along that berm and left all kinds of branches sticking up, and it was an eyesore. I got pictures of a man. They had the wetland marker, the barriers, the silk fence. They had one by the sidewalk and one down by the 25-foot. and they were working in between it. They weren't supposed to have power tools. It was supposed to be all hand tools, right? I got pictures of them with a chainsaw in there. They're taking the brush that they were cutting and throwing it on the 25-foot side of the hay bales, right? All these were supposed to be in the first filings and they never put it in. Plus, they were supposed to have an arborist, a member of conservation. They didn't follow anything. I happened to be riding by because somebody called me, right? And I had voted no on that project. So I called Maryland and I called whoever else. I made them come down and put a cease and desist on the first one.
Are we talking about this year or a previous year?
This was the very first violation way back when.
Yeah, so that's not on the agenda. So what's on the agenda is the cease and desist that was issued this year.
Mm-hmm.
Can
And
I,
they didn't even follow the rules this year.
And they admitted that. I mean,
Yeah.
I think in terms of, being outside of the
Timeline.
appropriate dates.
Has
have
anybody
they,
been
can
down
they
there
renew,
recently?
I'm sorry, go ahead, Wendy.
I was just gonna say, has anybody been down there recently? Because I wanted to stop down there and I forgot about it until just, it came to me. There was a couple of spots where there was some brush that was left along the edge of the border of trees and shrub that's down there now. They were supposed to take that out because that was from the last cutting. Because I had a conversation with one of the gentlemen down there and he said, yes, we can take care of that. And I don't know if they ever did.
But if you want to have that checked, we can continue this with, and advise them that we just need proof that they removed whatever was left that they
Well,
said they were gonna take.
Yeah, maybe I can just take, I'm fine with whatever. And if I go down there, can we just make a phone call and say the brush was supposed to be removed? And
If that's the
approve
case,
it?
yeah.
Yeah.
At this point, the cease and desist, they're not doing anything. So,
Yep, and they
Yeah.
won't be doing anything until after
Right.
September
But
something.
Bob, can I just add, now, the order of conditions, and this is the original that we did, there's my signature. October 20th, 2016. Have they extended these conditions? Do we have anything on file that they've extended these conditions?
that's a good question. I don't know.
Right. So I think we need to leave this open then until we know if they haven't filed for an extended conditions, then this is not valid. They need to
Okay.
renew this every 3 years.
Yep, no, I agree.
So does somebody reach out to them?
We will.
Okay,
All right.
I got a question, and this wouldn't be the cease and desist. It's related though. It's that project. Now I'm looking at the Bridgewater Claremont Vegetation Protocol. That seems to be the other document that was sent over, and it says that where did I write that down? It says future maintenance of native species. So my guess is this is in perpetuity, but is this document not valid? It's more of a written document as opposed to the wetland.
Well, the language can say in perpetuity, but to Marilyn's point, an order of conditions needs to be continued. It doesn't stand alone by itself in perpetuity. The conditions can, but it has to be, it's the onus is on the beneficiary or the applicant to continue it. Doesn't mean that the conditions change, but the way that the law is written is that an order of conditions needs to be continued by an act initiated by the property owner.
Because to legally allow the work, they have to have that order of conditions to be doing that. All right, well, thank you for looking into that, Bob. We'll follow up.
Okay, going on, we have minutes, but there weren't any in the packet. I hope Nicole does these soon because we're gonna have way too many to be looking at. So hopefully she'll be able to get them done for the next time. And Mr. Rulli, it is his last time with us. Thank you so much for your help, for your assistance, for your whatever. All of it. Thank
We'll go
you.
with whatever.
Thank you very much. And
answering
Nicole too.
questions.
Nicole will not be with us much longer either. So you guys were our lifelines getting us through this, and hopefully the agent gets in place very shortly.
Yeah, so just to update everyone, we began interviews yesterday. We had one yesterday, we had one today, we'll have one on Monday. We hope to have it down to 2 people by the middle of next week. With the first meeting in September being canceled, hopefully we'll have somebody by the 26th of September. Nicole has agreed to help in that transition so that somebody is up to speed, and but I'd like to say it's been a pleasure.
Maybe if it wasn't the 3rd thing or the 10th thing on your plate, it would be
Yeah.
more.
I think he has a platter, not a plate. He's got a platter.
This is true. This is
So-
true.
But I mean, it's been, again,
Serving tray.
we do what we have to do. And, I think that, as I've told people in an interview, I said, the Conservation Commission is probably one of the hardest committees and commissions that we have in terms of the responsibilities that you have both for the state regulations as well as the local regulations in terms of wetland protection. So, you don't have an easy job.
Keep coming back. Thank you.
Bob,
again.
I'd like to thank you and Nicole for 19 months of faithful service and helping us out. Thank you.
Appreciate that, Harry. Thank you.
Hmm.
Very much.
Okay, anything else?
Well, apparently there's not going to be a virtual cake or a virtual champagne, so I guess we can call it a day.
Well,
Cheers.
we'll see. We
Wait,
can't
is there an
try to figure-
emoji on here I can do?
And I don't want an emoji.
Then I guess we go to number E. I motion to adjourn.
Anybody second?
Second.
Okay, excellent.
Thanks.
So, all right.
Thanks,
Well,
everybody.
I'll see you on the 4th, Bob.
Yeah, we've got, for those of you that don't know, we have a workshop scheduled at 6:30 on September 4th at the Moakley Center at BSU, focusing on Central Square traffic and pedestrian improvements. As of this morning, we had 197 tickets sold, so, which is pretty outstanding. We've got a really great team put together, led by Niche Engineering and UTEL. Just to be geeky for a second, Jeff Speck has joined that team. Jeff Speck is internationally recognized in terms of walkable communities and an urbanist. He's an incredible. I've known Jeff professionally for almost 30 years. So he's agreed to come on to this project only because he's so excited about the potential that he sees for the Central Square area. He typically, gets paid $15,000 to $20,000 a night to fly all over the country to give lectures on this. We are not paying him $15,000 to $20,000, but he wanted to be part of this. So I think it's going to be a really good night, and we're going to see hopefully get some good input from the community and make some positive changes to Central Square.
Bob, where do I get tickets for that? Where do you get the tickets online somewhere? Or
Yeah, Eventbrite. I will have Nicole send you a link.
Okay, great. All right.
And one thing, and I just want anybody that's listening, this plan there is no plan to do anything to the town green. This is all about sidewalks and roadways that abut the town green. We're not changing the configuration of the green. We're not cutting through the green. This is all with respect to roads and sidewalks.
Sounds good. All right, Wendy, you either bring the cake and I'll bring the champagne, and we'll meet Bob on the 4th, okay?
Okay.
Right. Good night, everyone.
Good night.
All right. Good night, everybody. Thank
Good
you.
night. Thank you.